As law enforcement officers, we share a special bond. When faced with danger, everyone knows that humans can do one of the following three things: fight, flight, or freeze. Our only choice is to fight. If we hear gunfire, we're trained to go towards it, when the sane thing is to run the other way. We risk our lives trying to help people we've never met, and sometimes there are people that don't even really care for us. And we take these risks despite knowing our families will suffer if things go badly. We don't do this for the money. We do it because we love to serve our communities and make them better places. So I want to thank all of the law enforcement officers in attendance today for your service and for protecting our communities. I want to thank all of our academy recruits for choosing to join our law enforcement family. It's so important that we take the time to honor our brothers and sisters who've made the ultimate sacrifice. And it's just as important that we honor their families, because as devastating as it is for an agency to lose a member in the line of duty, it's much worse for the member's family. Nothing can prepare a wife, a husband, a mother or a father, a brother or sister for the sudden and unexpected loss of their loved one. Nothing can prepare a son or daughter for the unexpected loss of a parent. So it's very important to remember the families these officers have left behind, who need and deserve our ongoing support. For those in attendance today, I offer my condolences and thank you for the meaningful sacrifices you've made. We remember and honor our brothers and sisters who are put in extraordinary situations and acted with courage and with a deep commitment to others. They were part of the thin blue line. Former President Bill Clinton said, "That line is nothing less than our buffer against chaos, against the worst impulses of this society, a shield we may not always think about until it's raised in our own defense." Today, we pay special tribute to the points at which that line became even thinner. We pay homage to the law enforcement officers who gave their lives so that we may all live in safety. As Director Harvey said, we lost 158 law enforcement officers in the line of duty in 2018, and their surviving family members and co-workers will have to cope with that loss. Sometimes it's easy to hear these words and we think that the dangers are exaggerated, the communities that we live in are immune from the harm, but we also know that's not the case. All you have to do is look at our program for our somber reminder when our thin blue line got thinner, acting as a buffer and a shield against chaos and the worst impulses of society. Our departments and families weren't the only ones devastated. Our communities were as well.
Today we gather to pay our respects and remember our fallen brothers and sisters. Today we memorialize 32 officers from our area, from our communities, who have made the ultimate sacrifice. I am honored and I am humbled to see so many gathered here at the Academy today. Our profession is much more than a career, a job, or a paycheck. Our profession is family. It doesn't matter your race, your creed, your political ideals. We all support one another unconditionally, with love and an unwavering dedication to family and community. Last night, the National Law Enforcement Memorial Candlelight Vigil and Roll Call was held in Washington, D.C., remembering 158 law enforcement officers who lost their lives in 2018. 213 other officers were also recognized for sacrifices that are just now being found. On average, we lose 163 brothers and sisters each year. While these officers may be gone, we'll never forget their sacrifice to our country, our communities, and our families. Today, we remember and reflect on the partners that we've lost. Today, our community members remember those who gave all so that we may live safe. Today, we mourn with the family members and grieve a loss that we know can never truly be healed. My fellow brothers and sisters of the Thin Blue Line, never forget your families as you go about our unique and dangerous job. For as you are doing these, your families wait. Never take them for granted. And remember to appreciate their sacrifice and cherish every moment that you have with them. Family members, thank you for your sacrifice. You supported your loved ones through the trials and the heartaches of this profession. Today, their battles are over. They made their sacrifice, and they will never be forgotten. We remember to honor your loved ones. We remember to honor your family. And we remember to honor your sacrifice. Recruits, remember that our profession requires commitment, bravery, and sacrifice. As you graduate and take your place in your communities, remember this and serve with pride. Honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice by always holding yourself and your fellow brothers and sisters to the highest level of dedication and integrity. As I remember the sacrifices made by those we honor today, I often think of a tribute made by radio broadcaster Paul Harvey. In 1970, he did a tribute called The Policeman. I think his tribute is particularly fitting for this memorial because when Paul was only 3 in 1921, his father was shot and killed in a line of duty as a Tulsa police officer. While I'm surely not going to deliver this tribute as well as Paul Harvey, I think it is fitting to read his words of what a policeman is, was, and always will be. In the words of Paul Harvey, what is a policeman made of? He, of all men, is once the most needed and the most unwanted. He is a strangely nameless creature who is sir to his face and fuzz to his back. He must be such a diplomat that he can settle differences between individuals so that each will think he won. But if the policeman is neat, he's conceited. If he's careless, he's a bum. If he's pleasant, he's flirting. If not, he's a grouch. He must make an instant decision which would require months for a lawyer to make. But if he hurries, he's careless. If he's deliberate, he's lazy. He must be first to an accident and infallible with his diagnosis. He must be able to start breathing, stop bleeding, tie splints, and above all, make sure the victim goes home without a limp or expect to be sued. The police officer must know every gun, draw on the run, hit where it doesn't hurt, and be able to whip 2 men twice his size, half his age, without damaging his uniform. And of course, without being brutal. If you hit him, he's a coward. If he hits you, he's a bully. A policeman must know everything and not tell. He must know where all the sin is and not partake. A policeman must, from a single strand of hair, be able to describe the crime, the weapon, and the criminal, and tell you where the criminal is hiding. But if he catches the criminal, he's lucky. If he doesn't, he's a dunce. If he gets promoted, he has political pull. If he doesn't, he's a dullard. The policeman must chase a bum lead to a dead end, stake out 10 nights to tag 1 witness who saw it happen, but then refused to remember. The policeman must be a minister, a social worker, a diplomat, a tough guy, and of course a gentleman. And he'd have to be a genius, for he will have to feed a family on a policeman's salary. I think these words are as true today as they were when Paul Harvey delivered them in 1970. Today we come together to always remember the sacrifice of the men and women of this profession. For those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, I think it's important to remember the simple and profound words of Vivian Cross, forever inscribed on the National Law Enforcement Memorial. It's not how these officers died that made them heroes. It's how they lived.